I'm excited as ever. Last episode did tremendous. Thank you all. If you watched that and are returning, and we ended that episode talking about Emilia Perez. We got a lot of people talking about it, and I think it might come up in this video because we're talking the worst movies we've ever... Well, I'm going to be going over the ones I've seen. You decided to also talk about ones you haven't seen, which are our favorite movies to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the worst. They're bad.
Movies.
They may be some of them. You know, I mean, we probably wanted to get the worst, but you forget bad movies. You know what I mean? Mm. You really take some soul searching to really think about really bad movies. But, yeah, Emilia is going to be there.
I say we just start right out of the gates with it. I would say it is one of the worst movies I've seen. We got a lot of comments, and I think maybe as good a way to start talking about this is to discuss the comments. There's a few of them, and we appreciate every single comment we get. Definitely be sure to comment on this video. But the first one said, "Oh, thank God, I was worried your title was serious." And the title of the video, of course, is "You're Too Stupid to Get Emilia Perez." Okay, this one's a really long one, but it was well written, so I'm going to read it in its entirety. This is from @MichaelO'Bregan-X1M. Emilia Perez, in case you like this movie, okay. Agree. We all have different tastes for movies, and then I would assume you are not Mexican. You want to talk about the facts? Well, here are the facts. This movie only shows all the cliches about Mexican culture and uses them, exploits them in the cheapest Hollywood representation way to show display Mexican culture society. There are mariachi bands and dangerous streets in every city in Mexico. Yes, really. This film is about Mexico and yet has no Mexican actors. Yes, no good actors in Mexico, really. What is the best way to show Mexico's social problems? Yes, a narco musical. A film about a Mexican family and the mother does not speak Mexican Spanish. This movie is about the reality of life in Mexico and was shot in Paris. If you go to a restaurant or coffee shop in any city in Mexico, you'll be kidnapped. The songs in the movie have nothing to do with Mexican culture. No Mexican singers. I can't freaking understand why this movie has more Oscar nominations than Casablanca, The Lord of the Rings, Chicago, The Revenant, Forrest Gump, and Schindler's List. I like some of the movies you mentioned there. FYI, true story. The Mexican journalists and students of cinematography had scheduled a meeting with director Joaquin Audiard at Cineteca Nacional, located in Mexico City on January 14th. Needless to say, everybody was waiting for him, and guess what? He canceled at the last minute. Coward. Please talk about the facts. That's why most people in Mexico do not like this film. In short, this movie is stupidity at its finest. And quite frankly, I think let's just dissect some of the points brought up there, because I don't know if I could have laid out a step-by-step. There's plot points that I definitely want to get into as well. But here's the thing. You want to be the movie that preaches, hey, there's a societal value to what I'm showing.
For the movie.
Yeah, whether it be like the Mexican culture and a group of disadvantaged people that are admittedly very hot in the news right now. I mean, it gets much more news coverage than people who transition. We can agree, right? That gets talked about.
Oh, yeah.
More than you would suspect.
He did a really, really good job. But I don't even think, and no offense to his comment was very good. There's even more things. I mean, the LGBTQ or GLAAD, you know of GLAAD, right? That's for
you discussed it last.
Gay Lesbian Alliance something. They didn't like it. Mm-hmm. I mean, so they didn't do a good job on that front either. Now, they made Mexico look like it was in an active war zone, kind of. So yeah, that part's true, but that's only a portion of its failures. I mean, this is going to go down as like The Room, like a notoriously horrid movie that is so bad that it's good, I think.
Possibly.
Like over pandering,
In that regard, yes.
Yeah,
in that regard.
just poor, just so many mistakes made. I didn't realize there wasn't any Mexican singers or actors in it. I'll give you.
Because you're colorblind.
Yeah, because I'm colorblind. There is a movie that, if you ever saw the movie Traffic, that movie is profound in the way that it portrays, like, the problems Mexico has regarding the drug trade. Mm-hmm. And Javier
Bardem.
Yeah, no, not him. Oh, dang it.
Benicio del Toro.
Yes. Who is really, I mean, that's the first time I saw him, and I'm like, I hope I see this guy a lot more. He was insanely good in that movie. But he was just, because he was an honest cop. He was just trying to fight, and, he was against the army. He was against, there was just corruption, and he just showed, the hopelessness and futility of trying to be an honest cop involved in the Mexican drug trade. That told me something about Mexico. Mm-hmm. Really did. Very profound. This, I mean, I don't, it's filmed in Paris. I did not know that.
Well, the director is a Parisian.
Well, I don't care.
But why should he have to leave home to film a movie?
Yeah, God forbid.
They should have filmed it in his house, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, this should have been all the
And everyone who thinks that that's wrong,
how with you?
Maybe you're wrong. Did you ever think about that?
Yeah.
But
hey, we like to comment. We really do, because we read them too. And like a lot of places, I used to leave comments.
I respond to most of them, unless they're
well. That's good, because
really
I used to, everybody, they see something, they just really, really want to say something to leave a comment, and it's like basically screaming into the wind. Mm-hmm. But if somebody reads it, I don't know. I think it means something. If you take the time to comment on, our recording, it's meaningful. I think, I don't know. To some extent, it's a connection of some sort between, what we're doing and what we're hoping you get out of it. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, I think honestly, if there were to be not like not to make this more meaningful than it really is, but if there was a mission for this channel, it is to have a bit of a community. That's what I would like.
I thought this was about world hunger. That's what you told me when I started.
That's step 5.
Okay, well, okay, we're
only at step 2 right
we gotta crawl before we fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something.
The spaceships. That's step 4.
Right.
But
world dominance.
If you call me the big cheese in your comment, I'm just warning you right now. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed at you.
It's not because he does fart a lot, and so people call him that. And he hates it.
People called me that in high school, and I still can't get away from that nickname.
You want to eat cheese.
And you guys, I don't know how you heard about it, but I'm not happy about it. But for me, I can't even begin to get past just the overall plot point of it, because it's so ridiculous. When a plot like that has such a glaring, obvious weakness to it, it's hard for me to even dig deeper.
The fact that he's a drug lord and wants to transition, that one?
No, and that he's automatically becomes a better person.
Oh.
That is not... That doesn't... Look, I know you physically change a lot, in that if you are to start a new leaf, maybe if you don't have the power of a drug lord, it'll change you a little bit, but it's not... I don't know. That's just something that I think is ridiculous. I quite honestly think all of the characters are dislikable. That's not a negative, though. Sometimes that can work in your favor.
Oh, yeah. But some are meant to be,
Exactly.
What's her name?
Think this film was...
What is her name? I always get it mixed up. The attorney? What was her name?
She is in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. She's actually a pretty decent actress.
She looked like she hadn't slept. Yeah. I don't know if you remember. She looked incredibly tired.
She's a method actor.
Okay,
I think she was maybe supposed to look that way because she's a lawyer.
And she's supposed to work all the time.
Working 9 to 5.
Or more.
What a way to make a living.
Yeah, don't do that anymore. When we may women.
But yeah, that's
Yeah, but then that was another. I mean, I didn't see very much of it. I mean,
it's just it's
like there's the trope of women, don't get their due, and I mean it's somewhat true, and probably way more true in Mexico and so forth. But it's not like we've ever seen that in a movie. Okay, you have a lot of bizarre other elements to cover.
Yeah,
so
and
right
they
out
just
of the
kind
gate,
of gloss over them as though it's like
okay, here
you're
checking boxes.
Yeah.
There was that, and then I don't get enough credit. It's like, well, strike out on your own. Come, sneak across the border like 10 million of your compatriots have. Become a lawyer here. All right? You'll make money. Trust me.
Very true. But on top of that, the music is really bad. There's maybe one or two songs that are actually like decent to good. And there's some that are just... Did you hear the one where she's talking to the doctor?
In the beginning?
Yeah.
When she first gets to the...
Where it's a musical one and she's
Yeah.
Dude, is that not the worst fucking musical song you've ever heard?
Yeah. Why do you make a musical about self-mutilation or something?
But it's so fucking stupid.
It's so whimsical for like the subject matter.
There's no like penis to vagina is one of the lyrics.
Well, truth in advertising. Yeah, I know.
The movie plays better.
I heard it. I'm like, as a comedy or a parody or something.
I'm convinced the Oscars, Cannes, and the critics know that it's a parody, and I'm too stupid to actually get that it really is parody. Because if it's a parody,
it's not bad.
It's really good. Maybe a 5 out of 5.
It might be. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
I mean, that's terrible that we're not sure after watching it.
Some of it
I remember,
so good.
like you were saying,
it's parody.
When she goes in and the doctor's lyrics.
They got a fucking Asian guy who's like penis to vagina. I'm not going to do the accent, but...
Men to woman, or woman to men.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina.
You heard it if you listen to the movie.
Was it in like a Chinese accent? I can't remember.
He had a slight accent.
Okay, no.
Which all music should have slight accents.
Okay. Well, they were
country.
They
love
were in
country
Bangkok.
music,
weren't they? They were in Bangkok.
They're somewhere, yeah.
They're Bangkok, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is Thailand. I think Thailand, whatever.
What's the capital of Thailand? Bangkok, and you punch your friend in the nuts as hard as you possibly can.
And then you find a new friend.
And you teach them a lesson.
Won't be your friend anymore.
It's be prepared. Always be prepared. But this person, they sound more understanding of like even the liberal gripe with this film. And I understand that because like, look, if it was
something conservatives and liberals can agree on.
Both hate.
It's so stupid and bad. It's like pandering and it's stereotypical and whatever. I don't know.
Because if it wasn't so demonstrably pandering in its messaging, the lack of substance is what makes that egregious and honestly disgusting, in my opinion. If it was very artfully done,
yeah, I think
I would at
be
least
really
be able to
hard.
Respect the artistic integrity of it.
Yeah, I think.
And I would forgive if it made you look if it made you look at it in a different way. It's a very touchy subject matter. You need precision and artistry in a big way to make people actually, hey, this is a great movie.
There's a way to do that. I mean, in a way, I guess maybe I'm not sure what the goal was, but you would think it would be to have people have a more sympathetic view for people who feel that they want to transition, or people who have, or whatever. And that's completely. I mean, I think that would be. It may be a difficult movie to make, but it's something.
I think it's been made before. Is the thing?
What
I don't remember the title, but okay. Shit. I'm trying to think of roles you would know. There's one. I think it's called The Good either The Good Nurse or The Good Doctor. Have you seen that? It has the redheaded girl from
Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30.
Yeah.
And she is a nurse, and she gets hooked up with this other nurse who is actually killing patients. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, that has.
You seen that?
Yes.
Oh, no, okay. So the bad guy,
Yeah.
is in a movie where he is. I don't know if he's actually transsexual, but he dresses like. I don't know if you're supposed to say that. I'll bleep
I'm
it.
sorry, but there's nothing wrong with that at all.
I just think YouTube will.
Okay, no,
out.
I'm just saying,
Oh yeah,
as a concept.
You didn't say slur. You just said
No, not at
one
all.
of the many
I mean, that's
words
been around
YouTube
forever.
doesn't.
They've been doing
doesn't
that.
like.
They did that in Roman times. For
Well,
crying out loud.
yeah, whatever. But
Well, anyway, that movie. I mean, now I'm going off a little bit. He was really good in that movie. He creeps
a
you
good-
out.
and I think he does very good in that role too.
I would like to see it because I thought, if you got a really good actor, and in that one, The Good Nurse, in one scene, he comes over to her house,
And you're like,
you felt,
he might kill this chick in her own home.
but the way he was doing it was so insinuated, but not direct, and
Yeah, I don't know if it's passive aggressiveness, what he was like amazing at, but it was like the read between the lines. Like
Yes,
he
yes,
could,
yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's playing poker and
not like I'm going to kill you, but
well, he's
You never
he's
know.
reading her, but
yeah,
yeah, laying down the cookie crumbs.
He was yes. How was he killing the pig?
So in the IVs, he was putting
not diabetes. He's insulin.
yeah, he was putting insulin into the IV bags, and
He just got off on
he was putting a needle
into the
it.
bag, and
And she found out he put it in fucking 20 bags. Maybe
she didn't want to
more.
have anything to do with it. I don't blame her because the cops are like, "Do you know this guy?" Blah blah blah, and all that, and and she becomes a whistleblower.
Because the hospital was all too fine with just brushing it under the carpet.
Yeah, people died. Kind of
Yeah.
attitude. Yeah.
I think it's because it maybe opens them up to
Oh my god. Yes.
lawsuits.
Yeah. Very bad press.
Yeah,
Which
very
hospitals
bad press.
don't want that.
But that is kind of common too, that they just push bad employees. I don't know about the hospitals if they do that. Maybe they do, but you know about it with teachers and with priests. That's what they do.
Well,
They're like,
definitely
instead
with
of taking
priests,
the
yeah.
negative press,
Yeah.
we got a P. Diddy on our team.
That's-
Just move them out west or...
Yeah. It's like, we're not firing you, but
You
I
gotta
really
move.
think you should
And they'll
change
just
careers.
do that. They'll just fucking kick you around for 20 years, and then you have a laundry list of kids that
Yeah.
were diddied
Yeah.
or diddled. I mean, there was a teacher at my school who's still teaching. They just said, you gotta go. Sucks to suck, but you can't teach here no more.
Right.
But he's teaching elsewhere. You have a moral obligation. I'm sorry, that's fucked up.
That's more than a moral. That's a legal obligation.
Yeah. I mean, he
if
was
if that ever
texting girls.
comes out,
And it's an open secret. Everyone
somebody
in the
blows a
fucking
whistle,
school,
everybody's going down, and they should because
I'll call
that's
the
a
news
zero
right now.
tolerance, man. They talk about zero tolerance in schools. It means, well, if we think it's not going to be
That's never
too
meant
much
anything.
of our, it's going to be a problem for us. It's good to go. Basically,
That's just PR speak.
yeah, I know, but it is a legal matter.
Oh, dude,
You know,
I
like-
completely. That's so fucked.
You're a what are they called? They're mandated reporters.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a license, you can
all the
lose your
teachers
license.
are.
Yeah.
And if I knew about it,
I
I bet the fucking teachers knew about it.
Yeah.
But
Or at least heard rumors, and what they did were just.
and someone should have been like,
I don't know if
dude,
it's true or not. I heard something.
is this? I'm hearing shit. Did you fucking do this?
Yeah.
The reason he got caught is he was texting the principal's daughter.
Whoa. So he's stupid too.
He was smart at what he taught, but apparently not at other things.
His social intelligence was lacking a little bit on that. Hey, Dad, why is Mr. Jones texting?
They
What? Let me see
They
that.
liked each other, but I think once they broke up,
They didn't like each other so much.
That's what they say about workplace relationships.
Good loving gone bad. That's
Yeah.
what they call it. Yeah, and that's when they call in the lawyers.
That's when the house of cards came crumbling.
Yeah.
Next comment, you must be kidding. I was, with the title at least. Next comment, if you're wondering why your video has so little views, it's because the title is a complete turnoff. Emilia Perez is objectively a terrible movie, and just stating the obvious would have sufficed. Maybe you're right. I think the video did okay view-wise, and yeah, the movie's terrible. Maybe this next...
I don't understand what...
I don't understand what they're saying.
It's not like you said this is a masterpiece, did you?
Well, I said you're too stupid to get it.
That's a hook. Come on, man. What's an advertisement? That's a hook.
We'll try a new
What do you
title
mean
on
by
this
that?
one. Whatever. We'll say Emilia Perez is terrible.
No, he knows. We know it's stupid. We know that.
Yeah.
It was just a whatever. I don't know, like a phrase we used or you used. You should have checked with me, but
I'll check with you on this next one.
all right.
In this last comment, I think I'll read all the... No, I won't read all the replies.
All right, good.
Because I don't want to dogpile.
You know-
I'm not going to dogpile on you either. Because I want... If you have a differing opinion... I do.
Maybe
I want to
we
discuss
missed the
this.
brilliance or something, you know.
Yeah, and I didn't reply just because you kind of were getting dogpiled, but we're going to talk about it here. I'm not going to say you're an idiot. You're not an idiot.
Don't give a screen name then.
I thought the movie was pretty good. Best of the year, probably not. But amount of Oscar noms does not equal quality of film. Just means they excelled in a certain category of filmmaking. So I'll just start first point first. 13 nominations, a lot of them in different areas of film.
Yeah.
You're saying there's a proficiency in all of these areas that I just didn't see. You're saying editing's good. Let's look it up. What are all the...
That doesn't matter. We don't care. Listen, perhaps, but it got the major ones though. Best picture, right?
Exactly.
Okay, we don't care about cinematography. Nobody cares about that. Best sound editing. So if it got 13, it got, the lesser unknown ones and the major category nominations. So it shouldn't have. You can't make something good just by saying it's good.
Which is what they're attempting to do.
Yes, you just can't. It's like people should care about this. People care about what they care about.
So it won and didn't win anything yet, but it's nominated for Best Picture, which is overall proficiency,
Everybody
story,
Yeah.
everything,
Right,
which it
yeah.
lacked. Best Actress, which was Emilia Perez, and that is, I'm sorry, it you know what they're doing there. It's just
Yeah.
to make history with that, to show they're on the right side of history, which unfortunately that person came out to have online scandals. They talked about
Racial remarks.
towards there being too much black in Muslims in the United States.
Maybe. I know one was black.
Her opinion, whatever, and then against George Floyd. Again, her opinion. I don't know. I thought she was an awesome person, one of the best actresses of the year. And she can't have her own opinion. Okay. Best International Feature Film, Best Supporting Actress. Maybe the Best Supporting Actress, I think, is the only one you can really argue. Best International Feature Film. I would have to look. I don't even know if I've seen 5 international films yet. I will eventually, and once I do...
Is it really an international film?
Yeah, French director, foreign language, filmed in a foreign country.
Yeah, okay, all right. But I mean, this is an American release, in my opinion.
It's
hard.
It's foreign enough. I would...
Yeah, okay. It's not a foreign film.
Best
No.
director, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. The performances were not good. The script was a best adapted screenplay. You know that's fucking bullshit. One of the worst stories. I'm sorry. There's so much lacking. Fucking Abigail has a better story than this. You know it. Look yourself in the mirror and tell me I'm not right. Best original score. The music sucked. So what the fuck is that about? Best makeup and hairstyling. Okay.
Whatever,
I mean, if I was fucking whatever, I would care about that. Best cinematography. No. Just flat no. Best film editing. That's a hard one.
Yeah,
You
I
notice
wouldn't know
bad
good
editing. You don't
or-
notice
yeah,
good.
I
And then
wouldn't know.
best sound again. I mean, what does the bad sounds of the music not count? Because it fucking sucked.
You can hear it really well. It's just really bad.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe you captured all the sounds well. But
Let's move on. You want to move on, or you want to stick with this?
let me finish his comment. The video was just complaining about a movie receiving praise without actually discussing any single aspect of the film, just calling out the message, without clarifying what the message of the film is, and calling it sanctimonious with no evidence to back it up. Okay, so hopefully it was clear enough here, but they're just saying if someone transitions, you can become good, but it was a nasty person before. If we can't agree that drug lords are fucking
Yeah, I think we can.
parasites, then we just ideologically we're not on the same playing field. And they end up to be a shitty person after the fact. So I don't know what the messaging is we're just trying to push this constant agenda. We're trying to get more attention on that it supposedly makes you a better person. I don't know.
This is real life, all right? Newsweek wrote this article. There were these two men, and they saw where this couple lived, and it had nice stuff. So they went in. It was a botched robbery. So they beat the crap out of the husband, tied him up, put him in the basement, raped and killed his wife, and then set the house on fire. Somehow he did not die. I don't know how, but he didn't. He was a doctor, and she was a nurse. And 2 kids died. So they went to prison. So one of them has transitioned. So Newsweek, in their ultimate wisdom, wrote this story about, let's say his name's Joe, how Joe transitioned and is so much more at peace now, but still
That's what
has
this
bad
movie is.
memories of what happened. I'm like,
I'm so
high?
I feel so bad for that person. They have bad memories about killing a family.
Oh, yeah, you did it. It wasn't because you were in the wrong body. You probably did it to get to a different prison where you're not getting your ass kicked every other day. Because they do that. Mm-hmm. But when I read that, I'm like, Newsweek used to be like a reputable magazine. Are you insane? How did you write that? But, so it's similar, like art imitating.
Well, it's almost like maybe they read that and that's what they based the movie on. I don't know.
It was very recent, so probably not.
Yeah. Honestly, feels like the movie is just a lightning rod for people who want to hate things publicly. It's the current thing that everyone can make a YouTube video about, saying how bad it was without actually needing to elaborate on any of your points. You feel like
Look,
we've
you didn't have to
elaborated?
dissect it like film school. It's a bad movie. Look, you could search through a river of crap to try to find something nice and meaningful in it, but it's not worth it. It is a bad movie. It was a dumb idea. It was pandering. They screwed everything up. Whatever. We're not doing this because it's cool. It's a stupid movie. So thus we are talking about it.
And if this is the type of movie you want to watch, like,
knock yourself out.
yeah, watch it. But I'm just saying, when it gets nominations like this and praised by critics, people are going to try to emulate it. And people who are less fucking talented than this director. So,
Well, yeah. But look, yeah, if you hold it out as some exemplar of a good movie, people are going to criticize it. They're going to watch it and see, is it? Mm-hmm. Because if it's a piece of crap, they're going to, say, what are you doing? It's maybe more against the Academy.
yeah.
Where people are protesting and
the Academy and the critics who said this is a good movie.
Look,
Because
Otherwise, you wouldn't even know this thing existed.
if you were one of the trusted critics who rated this positively on Rotten Tomatoes, I'd be like, why the fuck would I listen to you again? And that's why we're saying, and because it's probably the safer thing to just be like, oh, it was an okay movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Especially on fucking sites like YouTube or like any social media, because people are there's gonna be backlash for just speaking out about this fucking bullshit. I watched it last night expecting to watch a car crash, but it was just an out-of-the-box story about identity and redemption told in a camp musical style. Unless you're Mexican or transgender and you're genuinely offended by your representation, there's not much to complain about here. So at least you acknowledge the fact that...
then you're saying it's mediocre. What we're criticizing, and I think probably the majority, is that it's being held out as, it's good. Oscar nominations. 13 Oscar nominations. That's what people are complaining about. Hey, run-of-the-mill movie, there's other ones about transitions and so forth that didn't receive this enormous fanfare. Okay? That's fine. People may like that, and maybe your description of what it is right on target. That you just explained a very mediocre movie. Mm-hmm. Not one that is going to be nominated for 13 Oscars.
Yeah. And I don't think you have to be a part of a minority group who is directly touched by this movie. I'm offended by the opinion of critics, of judges towards audience members to think that I think they realize it's not actually a good movie, but they want to just praise it and award it.
Yeah,
I'm
not
that
offended.
we'll just go. I'm not offended.
Yeah.
I think it's offensive to pass this off as one of the top 5 works in all of the fucking categories we mentioned previously.
But the Oscars have become, literally.
Offensive is maybe the wrong word. Like it's like you pissed in my Cheerios is how I feel. But
that's kind of offensive.
yeah, it would be like, someone farted in my general direction. That type. It's like I smell shit, and I don't like the smell of shit.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Because you made me smell it growing up.
Well, hey, you had to grow up somehow. I'm whatever you like. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really very few, some movies really do offend me. This, I just think it was a bad movie. That's all. It's offended a little bit in that respect. Otherwise, I don't care. I don't care. Pedophilia I find offensive. Cannibalism, other unusual.
But I watch movies
things.
about that.
Well, you find it offensive though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they
But I'm
glorified
not
it.
offended.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Good point. I don't. It takes all kinds to make a world, in my opinion. I say that a lot, in my opinion.
It takes a village. But yeah, so essentially, just to paint it black and white,
Didn't
is
Idi
that
Amin
they
say
said
that? It takes a village. Wasn't that him?
Hillary Rodham
No,
Clinton.
I'm kidding. Idi Amin was.
Is he an African dictator?
Yeah.
She had shots fired at her while visiting Idi Amin.
Yeah, we all know that was not true, and it wasn't in Africa.
And with that one comedian, what's his name? Chad.
He was in a movie called Shazam. His name is
Slowbach.
Kevin Sorbo? Not Kevin Sorbo.
He goes by one name.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's black and he's
I
bald.
know. He's tall. Yeah, and he was in. No, he wasn't in Shazam. Shazam was.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq.
What was this guy's name?
They're saying the fact that this person had to live in the wrong body for so long is why they're a shit person. And then it goes against itself because they're a shit person after. Like, they're like basically trying to control someone's life. Their wife, who they estranged for fucking 4 years, And then they think they get to call the shots on the wife's life after she was just like, who's
On her
also
own.
a shit person. She's a shit person. And the lawyer's taking literal blood money to get this shit done. And
yeah, that doesn't make her a really good person.
yeah, it's like, okay, and quite frankly, you
Although
could
once she
argue
was
if you're
given the opportunity, she didn't have a lot of choice. But
very true.
I'm going to tell you that you have to do it, or I'll kill you.
And she doesn't know if this is just a scheme for this drug lord who's probably has a fucking $1 million bounty on their head, is just doing this to like get away. And,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just change identity, quite
And
literally.
be gone.
It's so exactly.
Yeah.
That's the sticking point, and whatever it might not.
If I ever, and I don't think it's going to happen, become a drug lord, once I get to the top, I would have made enough money, I'd squirrel it all away, and come up with a super elaborate plan to like just
Get out.
disappear.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna go down.
Well, because you're
Someone's
gonna die.
kill you.
That's
you're
the
going
only
to
way
prison.
out.
Yeah.
They're not gonna just like, hey, let's peacefully hand over the power.
We're not. Hey, I'm a rival drug lord. What do you say you get out of the business? I'll take over. It's, oh, sure.
Have you ever heard about the videos they? This is more akin to what we talked about on last episode. Most disturbing videos or movies that we ever watched, rather. They will film them brutally killing people as an example. Like, do not fuck with the
Sinola? Sinola, I think it is.
Sinola cartel.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
one, they take a chainsaw to this guy's face, which kills you. I'm sure you knew that. Or they'll dismember people while they're alive.
Yeah, I know. They're
They'll hang you from bridges. I mean, it's fucking... They'll take your heart out of your chest and stab it into your body while it's still beating. These guys are
ruthless.
fucking just... They're barely human.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder.
And they act like for these narco guys that come and help them find the body, like this is a redemption for them. It's like, fucking dude, that's so half-assed. For you to do something so genuinely horrific, like those are the horrors of the world that we live in.
Yeah.
You have to beg for fucking forgiveness. It shouldn't be like, I'll anonymously tell you where your son Eddie is.
Yeah.
Like, you should have to fucking donate your life's earnings to that family that now is living without a father, someone who's not living without a brother,
Yeah.
someone whose son got taken from them.
There's not a lot of sympathy in the drug trade. None.
Yeah. And and we should all look like, I can watch a movie and not have that strong of feelings, but it's when you're trying to look at them through this lens, it's so misguided. And I don't know. That's I'll leave it at that. Any closing remarks for that movie?
No, I mean it just wasn't good. It wasn't
Yeah.
good. I mean the plot was kind of odd. It's an odd plot. I mean I kind of see what they were trying to do. I don't think they did it successfully.
I don't know. It maybe could have worked. I look at these really weird plots, and sometimes you need weird. You need
yeah,
weird.
you do. And I'll give it credit for that. It was creative and unique.
It just wasn't executed very well.
Probably not. But I mean, I can almost see, what they're going for. Someone, in the wrong body, and that could be symbolic. Someone not necessarily in the wrong body, just for some reason has grown up in a certain mindset because of where they grew up and how things are, and made an enormous change. And in this case, maybe it was symbolic. Really, it wasn't technically about someone transitioning from male to female, someone transitioning from one type of
Archetype.
person to a completely different type of person. So it probably wasn't, but it could have been. And then in that case, that person's looking for redemption who's done very atrocious things. I don't know.
And then maybe that they act out towards the end. It's like it's not as easy to separate yourself from
Yeah,
that.
you can't. You can't.
So we'll give it
outrun
credit
the past.
there.
Yeah.